Everyone, I'm so excited that you're here today with Influenced by Grace. Thank you for tuning in a busy, fun, crazy summer season. Y'all, I am sitting in my 28-year-old daughter's apartment in New York City, and it's such a joy and a blessing and a delight to be here. But I've got to tell you something. We've been talking about peace this summer, and no greater peace have I than to know that my daughter walks with the Lord and that God moved her here, that He made a pathway for her to be here. But those of you that have tuned in for a long time and know my story know that the fact that she's here, that she's emotionally so happy to be here, spiritually so grounded, so aware that this is God's plan for her life, and so thrilled that I'm here with her is just huge. It's God answering prayer, redeeming, reconciling, renewing all kinds of chaos and crazy things from the past. You know, I think sometimes people watch a Bible study online and they think, oh, that person's life is probably perfect and everything's gone so smoothly and everything always goes great for her. And I would like to tell you that I don't know about any other Bible study teachers, but for me, that is the exact opposite. And every single thing that I talk to you all about and profess to believe and proclaim to know is true is because I have had to live it, because I had to learn it. So today I'm sitting in this beautiful apartment that my spectacularly awesome sister helped my daughter decorate. And I am so acutely aware of God's power and God's faithfulness and God's ability, His ableness to redeem, renew, restore, reconcile, and just make crazy things happen. So this summer, we've been studying peace over and over again. We've been talking about the peace of God and that God desires and yearns for us to have peace. We talked a couple of weeks ago that we're supposed to seek peace. That's Psalm 31. Seek peace and pursue it. We've talked about how to do that, how to have it. And someone asked me recently, but Amity, how? I don't really get it. How do you know you speak with so much confidence in God's faithfulness? How do you have that? Well, that question has made me think a lot. And I'll tell you how I have it. Through experience. Wisdom and knowledge leads to understanding. And my understanding of God is that in the worst moments of the most unlikely, this will never be okay circumstances and situations, I've seen God be faithful to Himself in spite of us. But what I've learned is the common denominator is you've got to believe it, you got to lean into wanting it, and then you've got to pursue it. You pursue peace and you seek it. And the one thing that I've learned in my life personally is when your most special relationships on the planet Earth are compromised, or they feel wobbly and uncertain and unsafe, you will never have peace. But when God redeems those relationships, you get a peace that you didn't even know you wanted, you didn't even know you needed, and it is so overwhelming and so profound that it produces the best feeling you'll ever have, ever. And it's called joy. Internal, soul-filling, true joy. And I would like to read this verse to y'all because I believe this is what it looks like when God shows up. And you decided, if I err, I'm going to err on the side of believing God. Because I will tell you in many circumstances and relationships and beautiful things that I've had the privilege of walking closely, shoulder to shoulder, knees on the ground in prayer together with other people, I have learned that if you are going to err, you err on the side of prayer and believing in a God that delights in doing impossible things, because that is the God that I know is true. And as I sit here today, I am here to tell you that is the God that I worship, and I hope you'll lean into. And Isaiah 41:18 says, "But I, the Lord, will answer them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. I will make rivers flow on barren heights and springs within the valleys. I will turn the desert into pools of water and the parched ground into springs." Y'all, there is nothing that will anchor and secure your peace like believing in this God. Did you see how many times he said, I will? I will. I will. I will. I will. That is the God we worship. And I have found personally in my life that a lot of women come and speak to me in my sunroom, and they are eager, they are hopeful, they are prayerful, but they are not firmly convinced that they worship a God that will do crazy things. Now, I want to be very clear right now. There are times when God says, cut and run. I know there are. There are situations where God speaks his truth into your heart and says, now is the time. And I never want to insult anyone who's had to run. But I will tell you something. Most of the time, that I've seen the most dramatic, most overwhelming experiences of God's faithfulness is when people don't run. They wait and they ask God, is now the time? Is now the time? And what I've personally experienced is he never says run or stay. He'll just say, today, I want you to stay. Today. All your friends will tell your Christian friends, run. But God says, stay today. And he leads us step by step. He's a light unto our path and a lamp unto our feet. And what our biggest question should always be is, Lord, what do you want me to do today? Today. And I have found he'll show you. He'll make it actually surprisingly clear. So as we're on this path this summer, pursuing peace and seeking it and learning what does it look like and how do we find it, how? We always must redirect to the who that shows us the way, and never doubt his ability to do the impossible. It is his favorite word and his favorite situation, and he is the God that can redeem, reconcile, renew, and restore anyone at any time from anything. And he's calling us, the women of God, the people of prayer, the people that say they believe, to walk out on the high dive of believing him for radical things. Because guess what? All these other people are watching. They're like, how did God do that? How did God save that? How did God redeem that? And he wants this world that we live in to know, oh yes, I am a God that can do that. Isaiah 41, verse 18. Memorize it, believe in it, and bank on it. I'll see you soon.